Tell us about the women's 100. You were looking forward to this event.
Yeah, it should be a great battle between Torrence, Ottey and Privalova, and also Melinda Gainsford. She's our great hope from Australia. She's very relaxed and looking to run well.
Well, Jane, let's start our program with the first round of the 100. Merlene Ottey, the 35-year-old, what a remarkable athlete she is. Still going strongly after all those years, so to speak.
She's had 27 international medals, but she's never had a gold at the 100 metres at the world level, so she'll be really looking to try and claim this. And she really, I guess, is a sentimental and crowd favourite.
Fastest woman in the world this year, only woman to have broken 11 seconds, Ottey. Voronova is on the left in lane 8 from Russia. She'll be one of the principal contestants here, along with Pintusevich of Bulgaria, who's on Merlene's left and on our right. But Ottey, coming from the middle of the field, was beaten in a photo finish by Divas at the World Championships in Stuttgart a couple of years ago. Certainly the most famous of the 100-metre runners. Pretty good start. Voronova got away pretty well too, but Ottey now gathering speed. Pintusevich back. Ottey looks very comfortable. Voronova moving up, but Ottey so smooth. Looks across, in fact, and runs 11.15 into a slight headwind. That's good running.
It is. You know, all the heats that we've seen so far have been a lot quicker than I thought would have been needed. And obviously Merlene's in pretty good shape as well to run 11.15 in your first round. She's going to be a tough one.
Well, we expected that too. I mean, she always comes to major championships so well prepared, and really there was a faultless performance here. Nothing wrong. The start was good. She always had her opposition covered, and at halfway she could then relax a bit, Jane, and really just concentrate on form and style and the second round, I guess.
This would all be old hat to Merlene. She's run so many international races and so many rounds. She would have just been striding through that last 50 metres. A reasonable run out. She probably wanted to have a good hit out. She wouldn't have raced for, you know, a week or so.
What a great shot here. We see how relaxed she looks.
Yeah, it's very important to be relaxed, and I guess those that have the experience can stay relaxed under pressure as well. Particularly, you can see that in her face.
I wonder if we'll see this sneaky little look she gives Voronova. Wait for it. They've been called to the block, still in the first round of the women's 100 metres. Gwen Torrence, the favourite here, 3 from the left in lane 6. Olympic 200-metre champion from Barcelona.
Yeah, she's been in great shape too this year, Gwen. I think she's going to be one of the real toughies to beat. I'm sure she'll get a medal. Held them a fair while. Torrence got a reasonable start. Para Thompson in lane 3, beat her out and out. Torrence looks in good form, takes off them all, moves away very smoothly, looks back, eases off and runs the fastest time so far, 11.11. Most impressive, equally impressive as Ottey, Torrence. She's a really good 200-metre runner as well, so she always comes home very, very strongly. I think really having a look at that and having a look at Merlene's race as well, I think that she's probably going to be the one to beat.
Yeah, she looked very smooth and so confident too, Jane.
Yeah.
Para Thompson in lane 3, which is 2 from the right. The silver medalist from the Commonwealth Games probably beat them all out, but Torrence was so good in the middle of the race and then eased right off, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She eased off a lot. She just basically jogged through or strode through the last 20 to 15 metres, so she's definitely in really good shape. Lives in Atlanta, so she'll be used to the heat too.
Melinda Gaines for the Australian. What a big moment for her. And Carlette Guidry of the United States. They're the two major protagonists in this heat, and Melinda must be feeling very good, Jane, after her form leading in.
Yeah, she's had a fantastic lead up. She's very, very relaxed and really looking forward to this. I think her main aim is to go out there and run the best she's ever done in her life.
Hasn't run a lot of 100 metres this year, more 200s?
Yes, the 200 metres is actually Grand Prix this year, so she has chosen to do those over the 100 metres, and I think Melinda sees herself as being more of a 200-metre runner anyway.
There's Carlette Guidry of the United States, who was 5th in the Olympic 200-metre final, 2nd behind Torrence in the American Championships. So this is a good test for Melinda. Guidry, a likely finalist. Gainsford got a good start, so did Guidry. They look to be the first two out. Guidry shading Gainsford at halfway. Melinda pretty strong towards the end, almost moves up to Guidry, but Guidry now comes away and beats her by about half a metre in fast time, 11.18. Good sprinting by the American. And the American challenge is going to be very strong in the 100 metres.
It is, and that looks good for their 4x100 relay too. You know, Melinda, all she needs to do in those first few rounds is just get through. So she's probably blown a few cobwebs out. Guidry did run very, very well. Melinda's start has picked up enormously this year. She always had problems with it, and if you want to run 100 metres at international level, you can't have a bad start. So she's done well with that this year. If you have a look at Guidry, she's a very, very well-muscled girl, and that makes for good sprinting.
Well, Mel, a confident start for the 100.
Yeah, you know, I'm really happy with that. Because the girl who won's run 11:08, so yeah, I'm quite happy. I just wanting to get through as many rounds as I can.
What about the false starts? There's a lot of false starts out there. Does that worry you?
I think it's just good to get the first one out because, you know, you just don't know what to expect. And now you get the feeling of it, it's really good. I think they hold you a bit long, yeah. And the crowd's quite loud, so when you hear someone screaming, you know you're in trouble.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Up to the blocks for the final heat in the first round of the women's 100, and Privalova, second from the right. A hot favourite here. We've seen some terrific sprinting so far from Torrence and Ottey particularly. There's Beverly McDonald, who was injured in Stuttgart in the same race that Melinda Gainsford was injured in the semi-final stage, and she's been in good form this year.
Yes, she has, but, you know, I think that Privalova really is the favourite here, and I think she might finally come out and win one.
Well, she'll go for a fast time, I think, because both Torrence and Ottey have got the score on the board here with 11:11 and 11:15 unofficial. Good start. Privalova beat them out clearly. McDonald very, very slow. Amaral got away well. Privalova looks quite smooth. Mondi Milner on her inside. She's not going that hard, Privalova. She eases right down, in fact, 11:28. And the surprise there was McDonald, who seemed to get completely left in the first 15 metres.
And I think that Privalova's start there just proves that she will be going well in the 100-metre finals, because the start is a very, very important aspect in the 100-metre sprint.
So the results here from the first round of the women's 100 metres: Torrence, Ottey, Paschke the fastest, with Guidry-Voronova and Cuthbert. Melinda Gainsford has qualified safely. She was second behind Guidry in her heat with a time of 11.32.
That two of the favourites have both been drawn in the one quarter-final. Number 3, we'll see Ottey versus Privalova.
Yes, that was a bit of a shock. Let's go to the first of them, Melinda Gainsford in action. Here's the line-up in the first of 4 quarter-finals in the 100 metres. Melinda Gainsford, the Australian, in lane number 5, with a tremendous chance of qualifying for the semi-finals here.
She has, Melinda, as I said previously, she's had a great warm-up. The conditions will probably suit Melinda a bit here. I think there could be a slight headwind, and with her strength, it should really suit her.
Paschke in lane 6 has been in terrific form. Gainsford 5, Leshkova of Russia 4, and Mondi Milner, the third American, in 3. They look to be the main chances of qualifying for the semi-finals. The first 4 to go through. Let's hope Melinda gets a good start and then can overpower them and be right in the finish.
Don't get too disappointed, because Paschke is very well known for her start. She's the silver medalist from the World Indoor Championships over 60 metres, so I expect Mel to come home over her in the last 40.
Paschke was brilliant in her first round. Gainsford got a good start, I feel. Led Paschke early. Leshkova away well with Mondi Milner. Gainsford and Paschke together at halfway. Mondi Milner just in front of them. Melinda's got to go now. She will just make it, but 4th place. Mondi Milner, Leshkova, Paschke and Gainsford will qualify for the semi-finals. 11:26. Well, the Americans are going to be strong, aren't they? With this one, number 3.
Yep, and also with Torrence obviously to come up yet.
I thought Melinda got a fair start, to be honest. We'll have a look at it in just a moment.
She did get a good start. really for Melinda, from 30 to 60 metres is normally a great part of her race too, but she didn't really get into it as well as what she can. So hopefully she'll be picking up each round she goes.
Paschke looks good, and Mondi Milner looks very good. See Leshkova working, and Gainsford coming through now to get fourth place and qualifying. 11.35 her time.
So I'm running much quicker here because my times have been quicker, but the winds are really strange. They're swinging around and that. So tomorrow's a new day, so hopefully I'll get a little bit better. If not, I'll just prepare myself towards the 200s.
About to come up for the second quarterfinal. McDonald, Jamaica 1, Georgieva, Bulgaria 2, Onyali in 3, the Commonwealth champion, but seemingly struggling. Voronova, Russia 4, Torrence, USA 5, the favourite. Pintusevich of Ukraine in 6, a danger. Combe of France in 7, Becker, USA in 8. Correction, of Germany in 8.
And Torrence should win this race by about 2 metres, I would think. She is one of the favourites, and this will confirm it.
As Voronova, the Russian. Torrence has been so close in big 100-metre finals. Did collect a gold, of course, in Barcelona in the 200. McDonald, 11.10. Didn't put the big space in them I expected, with a 1.2 behind her.
No, she didn't. You would expect her to run a little quicker. It'll be interesting to see whether any of these ladies run under 11 seconds, because with those kind of conditions, a 1.2, that's certainly possible. She got a good start for Gwen, because she's sometimes a bit slow out of the blocks. Watch her going here. She is in command of the race, as you would have expected, but perhaps by not so much as we expected. McDonald ran a lot better than what she did in her first heat in lane 1, and she'll come through and qualify as well. So it'll be Onyali, McDonald, Torrence and Pintusevich through to the semi-finals.
Great scenes here in Gothenburg at the Ullevi Stadium. Look at this. Nearly a packed house. Why not when you've got Privalova and Ottey against one another in a quarter-final of the 100 metres. They're drawn in 4 and 5 respectively. 27 medals Merlene has won in the big competitions. A couple of world indoor titles, a world outdoor title at 200. Privalova, the current European champion, very versatile. So from right to left, Afara Thompson, Nigeria, Jayasinha Thanou. Now, Thanou broke the national record in the first round. There's Privalova outside of Ottey, Samuel, Brock and Clark. Now, Ottey set. Let's hope they get a clean start.
I don't think she did either, Bruce. She looked like she wasn't really pushing too hard. So I think both of them have probably run fairly sensibly there. Don't waste too much energy, as I said, in the first couple of rounds. So 11.16 with a plus 0.7 isn't a huge run under those conditions.
I felt Ottey was going better than Privalova. I might be wrong. I mean, I thought Privalova was struggling just a little bit more than Ottey, who seemed so smooth. It's different when you're running at 10.9 speed, I know, but to me, Privalova made a move early, and Ottey seemed to be able to get to it pretty quickly and without as much effort.
I think she did, and once actually Ottey is up and running here, she does look very relaxed and she's not pushing at all. Although, having said that, I'm not really sure that Privalova is either, so we'll have to wait and see in the semi-finals and the finals how they really go.
Yes, when you have a look at a second time, Privalova's also very relaxed. The Greek Thanou's run really well. Privalova and Ottey, 11.16 for Privalova, 11.17 for Ottey, 11.28 Thanou. You can see Ottey's just a half a stride down here. Privalova did accelerate a bit, and then Ottey just moves up alongside of her again.
Privalova has fantastic knee lift when she sprints, so she gets a really big long stride out of that. But they come through to the line. You can see they're very, very close. Only 1/100th of a second separating them.
Afara Thompson in lane 1 has also qualified for the semi-finals. Here are the qualifiers for the semi-finals, headed by Guidry, Cuthbert, Torrence, Pintusevich, Privalova, Ottey, Onyali and McDonald. They're the top 8 to go through. But for Australia, good story, because Melinda Gainsford's made it. It's going to be tough for her to make the final. Guidry being the surprise packet, but still the favourites. Ottey, Privalova, Torrence, and you must include Guidry now as a chance for a medal. Well, Guidry's been the surprise, hasn't she? She might be a chance for a medal now. Melinda looks to be struggling just a little bit.
Yeah, I think she'd be a little bit disappointed with that time. You know, she would be hoping to run a little quicker, but there's still 2 rounds to go, so if she gets quicker in the semi-final and perhaps makes the final, then she should be going okay.
And also we've got the 200 for Melinda later on. What about the women's 100-metre hurdles final?
Well, it's a real two-way battle between Shishagina, the fastest woman in the world this year, and the defending champion, Gail Devers.
Let's go to that race right now. There's the president of the International Olympic Committee leaning forward, Juan Antonio Samaranch. And there's an Olympic champion, Gail Devers, in the 100 metres, not the hurdles in Barcelona. The big 3 all in the semi-final, the first of them. Privalova on the right, Torrence the centre, Ottey on the left of screen. An unusual seeding here.
It is unusual. We don't normally get the 3 big names, and certainly the 3 favourites in the one semi-final. It's normally what we're waiting until the final, until we see them up against each other. So there'll be all sorts of games being played in this race too, I'd imagine.
Yes, it'll be fascinating to see if they go flat out here and try and get some sort of an edge for the final. There's Ottey, lane number 5, Torrence and Privalova inside of her. Pintusevich in 6, 3 from the left's been in good form this year. They're the big 4. In the world this year, clearly, 10.84. That was fair dinkum.
It certainly was. And Gwen Torrence 200-metre strength coming through that very end. Privalova did get a good start, but couldn't hold on to them.
That Jane is just outside her fastest time ever. It was a wonderful contest, wasn't it? Because we saw a change in fortunes throughout the 100 metres.
We did, and Torrence actually probably wanted it the most in this one, so she has stamped her authority on the race a little. And everyone knows she's a good 200-metre runner, so she'll have a lot of strength to come through like that in the final as well.
See, Privalova maybe switching off a touch, but look to be outrun, and Ottey's there too. I think we're in for a very fast final.
I'm sure we are.
Desperately close, 4-4, and this will give us a very good angle on Privalova's gap early, and Torrence and Ottey accelerating after her at mid-race.
It was really interesting to watch Torrence race too, because she started slowly, picked up, dropped back, and then came through again. So it wasn't a smooth race, and that in mind, she could go even faster, I think, in the final.
We've seen the 3 fastest times for the whole year in that semi-final.
And that doesn't surprise me, Bruce.
And look at this for a result. Torrence 10.84, Ottey 10.85. Not so many famous names in this semi-final, but tough all the same. Melinda Gainsford in lane 1. McDonald, Jamaica 2. Mondi Milner, USA 3. Cuthbert, Jamaica 4. Guidry, USA 5. Paschke, Germany 6. Onyali, Nigeria 7. Leshkova, Russia in lane number 8.
And Melinda's been moved from the first heat to this one. There were 2 Nigerians in this heat, so they've swapped her over. So she's gone from the big 3 to the heat that has the most depth.
Melinda Gainsford on the extreme right. Can she make it to the final here? Has to run in the first 4 and probably has to run an Australian record to do so. Milner in 11.09, and they're into a headwind, whereas the first semi-final had a tailwind.
And Guidry has come through. She's improved an awful lot in the last month. Melinda was beating her consistently in Europe before this race. If you have a look, Melinda got a really good start, but as did Cuthbert in the middle and Guidry. They're coming through. I said it was going to be a close race, and have a look at them. The first 4 through. Onyali's really picked up in this one too. She's the Commonwealth champion.
And the result, Guidry 11.09 into a headwind, remember. Paschke 11.13 and Cuthbert 11.13. Onyali 11.
Actually has found form as she's gone through the rounds.
Pintusevich of Ukraine's had a tremendous year, under 11 seconds this year, and was second in the European Championships in 1994. Was a semi-finalist 2 years ago in Stuttgart.
Merlene obviously is the crowd favourite. She's never ever won a 100-metre title at the world level. She has 47 sub-11-second races to her name, which is unbelievable.
Carlette Guidry, the second of the Americans, but in with a chance, was 8th in Tokyo in 1991, behind Ekaterini Thanou. Gwen Torrence, 3rd in Stuttgart and 4th at the Olympics and 2nd in Tokyo in 91. Melanie Paschke of Germany was 3rd in the European Championship behind Privalova.
She's the world indoor 60-metre record holder and will run a very good first 60 metres, along with Paschke on the inside of her.
And Juliet Cuthbert, somewhat forgotten, injured after finishing in the silver medal position in Barcelona in 1992. And in the semi-final, the big three ran the 3 fastest times of the year. So they're in sparkling shape. There's Torrence, the Olympic champion at 200 metres. Needs a good start. Doesn't want to be giving Ottey and Privalova too much break. Privalova, we can see, 2 from the left. Starter will hold them for a fair while. Ottey in 3.
Ottey's got the silver and Privalova the bronze.
Well, 30 years of age. As we've already told you, a mum, Manly Jr. is her son's name. She just gave her husband a big hug, Manly, a moment ago, who's a coach. So she's had to wait a long time, Torrance. She was 5th in the Olympics behind Flojo in 1988.
Here she goes with the flag. Hopefully this is a good sign, because Damien Marsh actually trains in Gwen Torrance's squad with her husband. Here's the replay. You can see already that Privalova did not get a good start, and Torrance is already in front of Ottey. It was never going to be any other way if she got in front than Torrance winning. So strong and obviously so focused in her race. She didn't know whether she'd won it or not until she saw the replay.
Well, a great triumph. Was 2nd at the World Championships in Tokyo, behind Ekaterini Thanou and in front of Merlene Ottey and Privalova in 1991. Then was in 3rd place in Stuttgart behind Divas and Ottey. So at the World Championship, she's had a 2nd, a 3rd and a 1st over 3 World Championships and 4 years.
I've been so close so many years. I was determined this time to try to win it, and I finally came through, and words can't describe how I feel. I put a lot of hard work into it, so I'm very pleased.
And here's the final result. Gwen Torrence, Merlene Ottey, Irina Privalova, all under 11 seconds. 10.85, 10.94 and 10.96.